Hey guys, welcome to another Talk Thursday. For some reason, I've only been doing like Talk Thursdays and I completely forgot that there's like a Talk Tuesday I could do too. So I will hopefully next week try to do another like Talk Tuesday instead of a Thursday. Anyways, today, as you can tell from the title of this video, this is going to be the first scary movie I ever watched. We were in Mexico. I think I was 12. We were with like my dad's side of the family. We were staying at my grandma's house. There's my grandma's house, and then down the road, a couple houses down, lived my uncle and his wife and his children, my aunt and my cousins, I guess. What ended up happening, I think it was pretty early in the morning. If I don't remember correctly, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure it was a little bit earlier in the day. What ended up happening was that my sister had gotten sick or said that she was feeling sick. So my parents and my grandmother were gonna go take her to the doctor. And so my grandma had to go with them because she knew where the doctor was and my parents didn't. I don't even remember how far away the town was. It was a decent, like, far away. I feel like we were more like towards the countryside, I guess. They were trying to find someone to babysit me, or I think I might have said like, oh, I'll stay with my cousin. They called like my cousin or my uncle and were like, hey, can you guys babysit Bianca? And they were like, oh, we're not there, but one of our daughters is there. You can leave her with our daughter. And so my parents were like, okay, so you're gonna go stay with your cousin Nata. And I was like, okay, cool. Nata is short for Natalia anyways. They left me over at my uncle's house, and then they left or whatever. And she was like, oh, like, you want to watch a movie? This was all in Spanish, and she was like, it's a scary movie, but it's not too scary. And I was like, okay, like, sure. So she's like, I'm just gonna be like, she puts the VHS in, and she or was it a DVD? I don't even remember. But so she puts the movie in, and I don't even know, like, at this point I'm not thinking that she's gonna put anything like too scary, but it's like, okay, whatever. So she's like, okay, I already watched this movie, so I'm gonna be like sweeping outside. And so I was like, okay. And so their house, it didn't really have any windows. I want to say, like, the kitchen had a very small window, and I was like in their living room area, and in that room it didn't have any windows besides like the door going out. And then the bedroom and the bathroom also didn't have any windows, and those were like towards the back of the house. So when the lights are off, the room is pitch black, like the rooms are pitch black because there's no windows. So all the lights to all the rooms were off, except like that tiny window from the kitchen, and then the light from the living room was on. So she was like, yeah, I'm gonna go sleep outside, you can watch this movie or whatever. So I was like, okay. Turns out this movie is The Ring, and if you have never seen The Ring, don't see it. It's traumatizing. But so I'm sitting here, a 12-year-old child, watching this movie, and I'm like terrified. So I'm like too scared to go get her because she's outside, and then like I'm too scared to like stay here, if that makes sense. It was like this, like, I felt like I was trapped, and I like continued to watch this movie. I think I watched the entire movie, or maybe I didn't. No, I feel like I did. I feel like just to look cool, I totally would have like stick through the whole movie, even though I was terrified. Everything was fine, and I was like, oh, cool, fun movie or whatever. And then I think when we got back home, it's when I started feeling really scared because do you guys remember like my old room? I think I was still sharing that room at the time. We had the closet door to my old room, and so I was always scared of sleeping by myself because I thought that if I looked like in the area of where my closet used to be, like the girl from The Ring was gonna come out. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I cannot, like, no. So that's when I learned to like always close my closet doors. And also I didn't tell my parents because I was like, oh gosh, like if I tell my parents, they're gonna get mad at me. I was just like, okay. So I didn't tell my parents until a while after, and I was like, Mom, I watched this scary movie. And so yeah, and for a while, if you've ever watched The Ring, I think the girl, like in the beginning, the girl dies behind, like she dies in the bathroom somehow. And so I was always scared that I was gonna be in the bathroom and like the dead girl was gonna appear like somewhere in the bathroom. And then I also remember in the movie, like, if you watch the video, you're gonna die in a certain amount of days or whatever. So I always remember that, like, the static, and I remember one time specifically, we used to have an old one of those big televisions before, like, we got the flat screens, but like the big boxy televisions, like I'll insert a picture of here of what it probably looks like, but it was missing the button on, like, where you press it because it had fallen, so you could just put your finger in and press on the actual, I don't even know what it was, like an actual button that is in there. So that's how we would turn on our television. And I think one time I was dusting off the living room because that was my chore for the day. So I was dusting off the living room and I think I started to like dust off on the control. And I think I accidentally like pressed on the button and it like turned on to static, and I remember freaking out because I think my mom wasn't home and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is where I die. Like, this is where I go. The girl from The Ring kills me. This is where I die. Hopefully, I'm not gonna say soon, but eventually I want to watch it again just because I feel like I might not be as scared of it as I was back then, because I remember watching like Hocus Pocus when I was younger. And we watched it again, I think last year, when I realized, I was like, man, this movie is not scary. Like, what was I afraid of? So I just want to watch it because I feel like when you're younger, things can look a lot scarier. And then once you're older, they can be like not scary at all. So I want to do that again, but not soon, like not anytime in the near future. Thank you all for watching this Talk Thursday. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And tell me of your first time watching a scary movie and what was your experience, because mine was pretty crazy. I was like stuck in a room by myself. I literally watched a scary movie by myself. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. Bye guys.